center. 9B, no, trust, go.
Now from the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, NPHCDA.
From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the News at 10. Live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Ayotunde Balogun.
Hello and welcome tonight. Senate approves 403.1 billion naira Nigeria Police Trust Fund budgets for 2025 and 2026 to strengthen policing and combat terrorism, kidnapping, and nationwide insecurity. West Africa financial watchdog GABA raises alarm over rising money laundering, terrorist financing, cybercrime, and illicit financial flows, urging stronger regional action across ECOWAS member states to respond. Federal High Court Abuja gives suspected Ansaru commander Abubakar Abba until July 20th to decide whether to plead guilty to terrorism charges filed by the DSS. And Iran attacks U.S. military bases and strategic facilities in Bahrain, Kuwait, and Qatar after Washington's second consecutive night of strikes on Iranian cities.
And on business news, Nigeria's stock market becomes the world's best performing equity market, overtaking South Korea's Kospi in dollar returns this year.
On sports news tonight, 8th seed Karolina Muchova to face fellow Czechs Linda Noskova in the first All-Czechs women's singles final in Wimbledon history.
From the nation's capital, FCT Minister Nyesom Wike dismisses claims linking Femi Gbajabiamila to controversial intervention council, describing allegations as politically motivated attacks against the president.
Starting off from the National Assembly, the Senate has approved a total of 403.1 billion naira for the Nigerian Police Trust Fund to strengthen policing and support the fight against terrorism, kidnapping, and other security challenges across the country for 2 consecutive years. The Red Chamber approved 170.1 billion naira for the Police Trust Fund's 2025 fiscal year, as well as 233 billion naira for the 2026 fiscal year, with the latter covering personnel costs, capital projects, and overhead expenditures aimed at enhancing the operational capacity of the Nigeria Police. Our National Assembly correspondent, Gloria Mezioke, reports.
Plenary resumes on a calm note as President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, reads a correspondence from President Bola Tinubu seeking to reform the nation's criminal and justice system.
I'm pleased to transmit to the Senate for consideration a bill for an act to repeal the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015 and to enact the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2026 to ensure that the system of administration of criminal justice in Nigeria promotes efficient management of criminal justice institutions, speedy dispensation of justice, protection of the society from crime, and protection of the rights and interests of the suspects, the defendants, and the victims. This bill is further referred to the Senate Committee on Rules and Business to report back within 4 weeks.
According to the president, the bill also seeks to align Nigeria's criminal justice system with emerging developments by promoting the use of technology, introducing innovative measures, and enhancing the effective implementation of the law by relevant institutions.
Practitioners of Nigeria Establishment Bill.
In the same vein, the Senate receives a report from the Committee on Police Affairs on the 2025 and 2026 budget of the Nigerian Police Trust Fund.
More than 90% of the budget is devoted to capital expenditure. It has the potential of more positively impacting on turning around the operations of the agency.
Here we have over 403 billion that is supposed to fill in the gap that is created by the police insufficient funding in terms of arms and ammunition, in terms of uniform, in terms of transportation, in terms of warfare. I think this is the way to go. The grand total, I said earlier, will sum up to be 233 billion 963 million 594,010 naira and 18 kobo only. The eyes of it. We hope that this sum of money being approved today will be utilized in a manner that will add more impetus to the Nigerian police force, and they will do more in fighting crime and dealing with the issues of insecurity we have in this country.
Lawmakers express optimism that the 403 billion naira approved for 2 budgets will improve the provision of critical equipment, infrastructure, training and other resources needed to bolster security operations. From the National Assembly, Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
President Bola Tinubu today held a strategic meeting with security chiefs at the presidential villa to review the security situation across the country. The Minister of Defense, Christopher Musa, and the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, led other service chiefs to the meeting. Each agency head briefed the Commander-in-Chief on ongoing efforts and strategies aimed at tackling insecurity in different parts of the nation. The meeting, which was held behind closed doors, appeared to underscore the administration's continued focus on strengthening coordination among security agencies to help restore peace and stability nationwide. The Intergovernmental Action Group Against Money Laundering in West Africa, GABA, is expressing concern over the growing threat of money laundering, terrorist financing, cybercrime, and illicit financial flows across the ECOWAS region. Presenting its 2025 annual report in Dakar, Senegal, GABA admits that member states are making steady progress in strengthening their anti-money laundering frameworks and stressed the need for greater regional cooperation to tackle evolving financial crimes.
From across 12 states of the ECOWAS region, stakeholders converged on Dakar, Senegal, for the presentation of the 2025 annual report by the Intergovernmental Action Group Against Money Laundering in West Africa, GABA. According to the regional agency, financial crimes such as money laundering, terrorist financing, corruption, cybercrime, and illicit financial flows continue to undermine economic growth, weaken governance, and threaten peace and security across West Africa as criminal networks increasingly exploit digital technologies and crypto assets.
For their exemplary.
With stronger regional cooperation critical to combating these evolving threats, the Acting Director General Jalo Chianu laments that the region continues to face more sophisticated money laundering threats driven largely by corruption.
In the face of terrorism, transnational crime, illicit financial flows, cybercrime, and new forms of economic crime, our response must be collective, coordinated, and resolutely regional.
Determined to address the menace, GABA reaffirms its commitment to continuously support member states to disrupt terrorist financing networks, strengthen legal frameworks, and improve regional cooperation in the fight against financial crimes.
The progress made in recent years, notably the launch of the third round of mutual evaluations bear witness to this momentum. The new phase emphasizes the effectiveness of national frameworks and the concrete results achieved in the prevention and prosecution of financial crime.
After the speeches, the report is then presented.
Just take one copy each.
With the presentation of the report, Giaba reaffirmed the continued full membership of Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger, stressing that the fight against money laundering and terrorist financing cuts across political differences.
Thank you very much.
To the Federal High Court in Abuja, where Justice Emeka Nwite has given one suspected commander of Ansaru, an Al-Qaeda-affiliated terrorist group, being prosecuted for alleged terrorism by the Department of State Services, Abubakar Abba, up till July the 20th, to decide on whether or not to plead guilty to the terrorism-related charges against him. Abubakar Abba, also called Abu Dara, is standing trial alongside Mahmouda Usman, Isa Adam, and Mahmoud Al-Nigeri on various terrorism-related charges. The matter, which was fixed for continuation of hearing on Thursday, took a turn when Abba informed the court of his intention to withdraw his earlier plea of not guilty. After conferring with his counsel, Abba told the court that he was still undecided on whether to change his plea or retain the earlier one. The prosecuting counsel, David Kasui, opposed any further adjournment, arguing that the defendant had made a similar request at the last sitting. He urged the court to proceed with the trial if the defendant fails to make up his mind. Justice Nwite subsequently adjourned the matter till July the 20th for the defendant to decide on whether or not to change his plea or for continuation of hearing. Borno State Senator Aline Dume has called for sustained military pressure on armed groups and urged President Bola Tinubu to address Nigerians directly on the country's security and economic challenges. Speaking after meeting the president today, Senator Ndume said both issues featured prominently during their discussions.
Recently, you have seen it all over in Northwest. There's been a lot of pressure on the bandits in the Southeast and Northeast. They have even taken out some of their leaders. And even yesterday, some of their commanders have surrendered. So if the tempo is kept, I'm sure that this thing will come to an end. These are just ragtag people that cannot stand up to the military, even in number or like that. It is only that the commitment and this is not there. But you can see that the president has since declared state of emergency on security. And the other aspect that really needs to be looked into is the issue of other welfare of citizens, like cost of petrol, foodstuff, transportation. Of course, we have all it takes. It's just that we need to coordinate it. And once it's being coordinated, and once even Nigerians see the efforts of the government, they normally appreciate it. And that's what I told Mr. President, that we should reach out. Another aspect that I advise and he promised to look into is to speaking to Nigerians. Nigerians would expect that your leader would tell you what is going on, how is, instead of other people talking on behalf of Mr. President. You don't spare a bandit, you don't spare a terrorist, you don't know. Once you identify a terrorist, because if you don't kill him, he will kill you. So there's nothing to hold down on that. That is, and then for what the efforts the governors are doing is also a welcome development, because you don't allow only the federal government to take responsibility.
Here's some health news now that might interest Nigerians. Well, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mr. Mohammed Idris, is assuring the people that there is no confirmed case of Ebola in the country at the moment. He further asked Nigerians not to panic, as government is working hard and vigilant, as it is not waiting until it records its first case before tackling the virus. The minister was speaking at the inaugural meeting of the Communications Subcommittee of the Presidential Task Force on Ebola virus in Abuja. He told the gathering that surveillance has been mounted across the country and intensive measures following the assessment of importation as high by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the NCDC.
Let me assure Nigerians that there is currently no confirmed case of Ebola virus disease in Nigeria. Let me repeat, no confirmed case of Ebola virus disease in Nigeria. However, recent developments elsewhere in Africa remind us that infectious diseases know no borders. Our responsibility, therefore, is to remain vigilant while providing accurate information that reassures the public without creating any fear or panic. Communication is one of the most powerful tools in managing public health emergencies. Accurate, timely, and science-based information saves lives, while misinformation and rumors can undermine public confidence and hinder effective response.
In part two, after the break, National Human Rights Dashboard records 405 abductions and 222 deaths in June, with child abandonment and security personnel killings also ranking among major violations. Please stay with us.
Chef, it's a two-finger crush.
Pass with the chicken and all purpose.
With Mr. Chef, a simple crush turns meals into culture and moments into memories.
This is the true taste of home
and culture.
Chef of life.
Welcome to the Gathering on 100, the biggest and largest Nigeria Youth Link-Up here in Lagos, Nigeria. If you love to dance, if you love to party, if you love artwork, if you love tattoos. So we're going to be starting in 3, 2, 1. I've been digging, and it's lit!
This was their creation. We're extremely proud of what they've done. It's an incredible gathering, and we're very positive that this is going to be something that we're going to build on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the biggest finale of the year. 2 culinary giants, 1 bottle of Power Oil, 1 title on the line, the Power Oil Certified MasterChef Challenge.
Oh, what a move! He slices past the peppers. Beautiful control. Look at that knife work. Because here, it's not just the cooking, it's the crowd behind you. And the fans are pouring in behind him. The votes are climbing.
Now that was the opening fixture. The real tournament is open to every kitchen in Nigeria. I think you can do better. Be your own master chef. Record yourself cooking with Power Oil. Upload your video, share your link, get votes.
Power Oil, Power Oil.
Excuse me, ma. This is your 100% in
Babes, are you sure you want to spend this much on hair? Since your landlord just increased rates, I saved for this one separately on money points.
Ma, you say you save on money points?
Yes.
This Madam Money Points here, the array of your dryer here, it charges savings money points I used to have it. The rest of this my submit fees savings money points I used to do it. The salary of this my staff is save as you transact.
Jennifer, money points save as you transact. Money points fixed savings and money point target savings.
What happened? Why did I tell you I don't contribute to you? Why should I? Come on, oh, you go give your money money to Adaku to save. You see money point accounts here. You know go open a savings account. Now Adaku you shoot. I beg everybody inside this my saloon. Oh yeah, bring out your phone and download the money point hack now. Even you. What are you waiting for? Download the money point hack now. Adaku, wow, open money point account.
Money Point, made for your progress.
They can keep us off the pitch, but they can't stop us from winning.
Play for free every day with BetKing Daily Awards and stand a chance to win big on sports, virtuals, and games. This season, the game is yours to win. That feeling, that's BetKing.
Welcome back. If you have just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, broadcasting live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. Senate approves 403.1 billion naira Nigeria Police Trust Fund budgets for 2025 and 2026 to strengthen policing and combat terrorism, kidnapping, and nationwide insecurity. West Africa financial watchdog JABA raises alarm over rising money laundering, terrorist financing, cybercrime, and illicit financial flows, urging stronger regional action across ECOWAS member states to respond. Federal High Court Abuja gives suspected Ansaru commander Abubakar Abba until July 20th to decide whether to plead guilty to terrorism charges filed by DSS. And Iran attacks U.S. military bases and strategic facilities in Bahrain, Kuwait, and Qatar after Washington's second consecutive night of strikes on Iranian cities. The federal government's evacuation of Nigerians from South Africa has crossed another milestone as the fifth batch of returnees arrived in Lagos this evening. An Air Peace flight brought home about 187 Nigerians after a technical issue prevented the aircraft from departing as scheduled yesterday. With this latest arrival, the number of citizens evacuated from South Africa following the recent xenophobic attacks has now risen to about 1,000. Let's talk health now with the National Coordinator of the Presidential Initiative for Unlocking the Healthcare Value Chain, Dr. Abdul Mukhtar, says the proposed Africa Health Sovereignty Fund will strengthen investment in healthcare manufacturing and expand access to financing across Africa. Speaking during the stakeholder roundtable on the Africa Health Sovereignty Fund in Abuja, Dr. Mukhtar said the initiative, championed by the EU, the European Union, Africa Centers for Disease Control, and the United Nations Capital Development Fund, aims to establish a $200 million continental healthcare investment fund. He noted that PVAC hosted the consultation to align Nigeria's healthcare investment agenda with a broader African initiative and ensure the fund responds to the needs of both public and private sector stakeholders.
This is an initiative of the European Union, the Africa CDC, and the UN Development Fund. The plan is to establish a healthcare fund, about $200 million US dollars, to invest in healthcare companies across all of Africa. We hosted this in PVAC, Presidential Initiative for Unlocking the Healthcare Value Chain, as part of our mandate to unlock healthcare investments in Nigeria. Following all of these roundtables and these consultations, the fund will be set for continental use. But as you know, we've been saying PVAC has also been planning to establish a healthcare fund. So we see a very clear case to collaborate and to work together with this fund to widen access for Nigerian manufacturers, but also all of African manufacturers. So this is really one of the most important catalytic works that we're doing at PVAC, and we have had very good input from all these organizations that will refine the way we design this going forward.
I was very grateful for the input that we received on challenges in the market, opportunities, and then how private capital should be mobilized, how it should be structured, how it can work with the stakeholder community across Nigeria. So we had a very, very productive conversation today that will advance into hopefully soon more planning for Nigeria as well as other countries that can lead to a very sustainable Africa Health Sovereignty Fund.
Some worrying news as far as human rights in Nigeria is concerned. Well, the National Human Rights Situation Dashboard indicates that 405 Nigerians suffered abductions, while 222 others were killed within the month of June, topping the Human Rights Violation Index. According to the agency, this is closely followed by child abandonment with 278 and killing of 41 armed forces and law enforcement personnel, mostly within the northeast and the northwest. The Executive Secretary of the Commission, Mr. Tony Ojukwu, who expressed concern over rising cases of right to life violations and sexual violence against children, made the announcement while revealing the June 2026 Human Rights Dashboard in Abuja.
For the month of June 2026, the Commission received a total of 326,113 complaints, a figure that underscores the ongoing and urgent challenge of securing human rights for all Nigerians. The right to life was the most frequently violated right, while the dominant pattern of armed violence remained consistent. Equally alarming is the data on sexual violence against children. The observatory recorded several cases of sexual violence against minors in June. This pattern of sustained, unresolved violence demands urgent and coordinated intervention as a country. June 2026 also brought important international attention to Nigeria's human rights situation. The UN Special Rapporteur on Freedom of Religion or Belief, Professor Nazila Ghanea, conducted a 12-day official country visit from the 8th to 19th of June, covering Abuja, Plateau, and Kano states. She presented her preliminary findings at the headquarters of the Human Rights Commission, noting that persistent violence, mass displacement, kidnappings, and attacks on communities were undermining fundamental rights and deepening religious tensions across the country.
Arco Group, an indigenous company that provides services and solutions for the oil, gas and energy industry in Nigeria, has organized a high-stake engagement and participation of the Energy Week, which ended today in Abuja. According to the company's senior executive, Mr. Michael Okwegun, the various innovative solutions showcased at this year's 25th edition is a testament to the growth of the indigenous growth of the oil and gas industry.
Very conspicuous in the activities marking this year's Nigeria Energy Week is the sheer number of gas deals, indigenous entities stepping up to the mark, and the expertise brought into conversations around scaling the industry.
We are talking about Train 8+ in Nigeria LNG. And what are we looking at in how to get gas in there? We are talking about aggregating gas, and we're looking at what we call gas aggregation liquid handling plants to enable the use of this gas. So I think there is opportunity in that space, and it is not fully enhanced, but we should take advantages of what the PIA is saying, as well as the presidential tax relief.
There is a VFD cable that has never been bought in country before. And this is an offshore drill well cable that you need to actually, otherwise you can't produce. Now, the joke about it was that the expectation standard was it's 6 months delivery. But by the time we finished with the design team, we're able to crash down design to less than 2 weeks. Wow. Delivery to 4 weeks.
For instance, she is the regulator of the upstream side of the industry, and this reminder of her charge seemed to have triggered the industry to return investments into Nigeria.
When I took over the responsibility as a commission chief executive, I told the entire industry that the role of the commission is to enable the industry. Whatever issues you have, bring them to me. An honorary mention to a man who played a major role in this.
This signing is a $1 billion investment that will unlock additional 40,000 barrels of molecules.
What you'll see at NOG Energy Week with the strategic conference as well as the technical conference and the leadership roundtable is to ensure that we are having a very full-rounded conversation that covers the energy ecosystem.
It's been 25 years of showings, and the Nigerian company has continued to support the hosting. Akko Group is not just enabling the conference and conversations. The leadership says there are several industry offerings.
Yes, we raise awareness. Yes, there's potential business opportunities. But for this conference, it's about bringing people together, that local capacity development. So even from here, by being a platinum sponsor, we've met other companies that we feel, yes, we can collaborate and we can create something even bigger. We've brought our solutions, our drone solutions, our innovative solutions with drone cleaning as well, where we're going to clean at heights, where we're going to reduce the HSE risk. We've brought our air filtration solutions, where we're going to reduce CO2 emission, which is better for, the greenhouse gases. So I think that there are numerous solutions. If I was to round it up, Akko has brought solutions.
We know a few things now are coming out in terms of scale from this conference that's held here in the last 4 days. We also do now know that the energy mix of Nigeria now has about 20% of renewables coming from solar from the Bola Ahmed Tinubu International Conference Center here in Abuja. Olu Phillips, Channels Television News.
And still to come on the news at 10, Nigeria's stock market becomes the world's best performing equity market, overtaking South Korea's Kospi in dollar returns this year. That's on Business News. Please join us again.
Welcome, sir. We need to look at this report.
What can we offer you?
Don't worry.
Huh? Mr. Chef, it's a two-finger crush.
Pass the beef and crayfish.
With Mr. Chef, a simple crush turns meals into culture and moments into memories.
This is the true taste of home.
And culture. Chef of life.
So what can I get you?
Can I have some more golden penny pasta?
Tell me why you want more.
Because I enjoy slopping.
This is why I love my golden penny pasta. It's my family's favorite. What's your reason?
It's great for romantic dinner.
Reminds me of home every time.
A truly satisfying meal.
It's my ultimate comfort food.
I make delicious combos for you.
I just want more. Because I love you all.
What's your reason? Great taste? Good nutrition.
Welcome to the Gathering on 100, the biggest and largest Nigeria Youth Link-Up here in Lagos, Nigeria. If you love to dance, if you love to party, if you love artwork, if you love tattoos. So we're going to be starting in 3, 2, 1.
I've been digging, and it's lit!
this was their creation. We're extremely proud of what they've done. It's an incredible gathering, and we're very positive that this is going to be something that we're going to build on.
Welcome back to the news at 10. Let's now head to the nation's capital. Gloria Umezoke is right there, standing by to give us the latest from our Abuja studios. Over to you, Gloria.
Thank you, Ayo. Here in Abuja, the Minister of the FCT, Mr. Nyesom Wike, has dismissed allegations linking the Chief of Staff to President Bola Tinubu, Mr. Femi Gbajabiamila, to the controversial Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council, describing the claims as a politically motivated attempt to discredit the presidency. Speaking during his monthly media briefing in Abuja, Mr. Wike said the allegations lacked credibility. Our correspondent, Kumbi Abuluwade, reports.
It's the July edition of the media chat by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory for the year 2026, and as usual, he lends his voice to pressing national issues as well as developments in the nation's capital.
If you don't have good roads,
the FCT minister speaks on recent moves by his administration to improve the living conditions of residents in the FCT.
Before I came, the budget, do you know what it is? You have about 65% of the budget for a recurrent expenditure. How would such society develop? I came on board and said no. 70% of capital expenditure, 30% for recurrent expenditure. Government funds are being diverted, and I said that is not good. Put this money in this road here. Put this money in this school here. The people will get the impact. And that's why I cannot be popular among the civil servants. No, I can't be popular. If you ask anybody today, one minister that they would like is me. Why? Those conferences do not matter anything. I put the money together and go and do the one road.
The minister also commented on the controversial Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council.
What is the business of people like Atiku if it's not politically driven? A man accused them today, accused Chief of Staff today. Tomorrow morning, the opposition has issued a statement. So it is not correct that Chief of Staff ever. I know him that too well. I'm not saying that the man in the budget and there was something around. I'm not saying that. That I do not know. But what you should do, Chief of Staff cannot create a budget head. It's not possible. But if the man was sincere, he can make such a heinous allegation and run away. Time to the country to boil. What is running after you? What is running for your life for? You have come and prove if it was indeed correct. Eyeball to eyeball. Go to the security agency. He cannot say this. Look at my communications with him. Look at the phone I've been talking with him. These are what we have done. Then you run away. Then people are going to say, oh, you are running so that you can be alive. Which life? Is your life more bigger than the lives of other people in the country? They can go and make such an allegation and you run away. And people are saying, oh, you know, Chief of Staff must be sacked by you, opposition.
The minister continues to credit the availability of funds for FCT projects to President Bola Tinubu, especially because of the removal of the FCT from the Treasury's single account. From the nation's capital, Kumbi Abuluwade, Channels Television News.
And leadership is not merely about occupying positions of authority, but about creating lasting impact through service and giving back. That message resonates at the University of Port Harcourt as a guest lecture by businessman, philanthropist and alumnus Mr. Richard Nyong during the send-off of the institution's outgoing Vice-Chancellor, Professor Owunari George Will. Our correspondent, Deborah Mie-Fiberesima, reports.
Leadership, impact, and giving. These are the focus at the University of Port Harcourt as academics, jurists, alumni, and dignitaries gather for a guest lecture held in honor of the institution's outgoing Vice Chancellor, Professor Owunari Georgewell. Delivering the keynote lecture titled Leadership and Giving Back, Two Sides of the Same Coin, businessman and alumnus Richard Inyong challenges leaders to make service, integrity, and giving back the foundation of lasting success.
Leadership, I always say, is about connecting people from an ugly past to a desirable future. Leadership is giving yourself in a way that moves people from where they are today to a future that is more desirable. While, on the other hand, giving back meaningfully is looking back and looking out and finding ways to give of yourself and your resources to where you came from and to things that matter to you. He's loving, he's thoughtful, he's deeply strategic in everything he does. He's hardworking and fair. The University of Port Harcourt found a great leader who gives back every single day.
I have a very
The chairman of the occasion and twin brother of the celebrant, retired Justice Bilbele Georgewell, describes the lecture as a fitting tribute to a leader whose tenure reflects purposeful service. Sayelulu Briggs and other guests also commend the celebrant's achievements, noting that leadership is best measured by the lives positively impacted.
The vision of my twin brother that he shared with me, that I have the blueprint, he has got 100%.
For the outgoing Vice Chancellor, Professor Owunari Georgewell, the lecture is a reflection of the values that have guided his administration. He expresses gratitude to the university community and stakeholders for support throughout his tenure.
I am fulfilled as a Vice Chancellor because God brought all of you to work with me. And today, I'm leaving the University of Port Harcourt better than how I met it.
The keynote lecture speaker, Richard Inyong, tells journalists of some impactful projects he's set to commence as a give back to the institution.
We have been strategic partners with the university in giving out scholarships. I mean, renovating halls and giving cars to the school and all of that. Giving back a 200 room hostel to the students, 100 for the boys and 100 for the girls.
As the University of Port Harcourt prepared to usher in a new administration, the message from the lecture is clear. True leadership is sustained not only by achievement, but by the legacy of service and the lives transformed through giving back. Deborah Miye-Fiberesima, Channels Television News.
To company news, MTN Nigeria Foundation and the Musical Society of Nigeria hosted the 19th graduation concert and ceremony for the Mason School of Music Diploma scholars. Now, speaking at the event, the executive director of the MTN Nigeria Foundation, Mrs. Odunayo Sonya, says the foundation will continue to prioritize the creative sector and support talented youths across the country. She says the MTN Mason School of Music program provides scholarships for hundreds of talented young Nigerians to receive formal music education through the Mason Diploma School. She further notes that it serves as one of the country's foremost platforms for developing professional musicians and strengthening Nigeria's creative economy.
From the soothing notes of brass instruments to the elegance of classical music, the stage of the Muson Center in Lagos comes alive as the latest graduating scholars of the Diploma in Music program, a partnership between the Musical Society of Nigeria and MTN Foundation, display the skills acquired after 2 years of intense training. The 19th graduation ceremony showcases the strong partnership between MTN Foundation and Muson, which has been on for 2 decades.
The school celebrates its 20th anniversary. It has, under MTNF scholarship, turned out over 550 high-flying graduates who occupy important positions in music industry in Nigeria and other parts of the world.
To the Muson Board, management and faculty, we extend our deepest appreciation for your unwavering dedication to excellence and for shaping these emerging talents into well-rounded creative powerhouses.
As the graduates applaud MTN Foundation for the free investment and life-changing opportunity given to them, a music expert and former Nigerian ambassador to Greece charges them to stay disciplined, focused and pursue excellence as they embark on the next chapter of their musical careers.
Talent gets you hired once. Professionalism gets you invited back. Be the musician that people can trust.
We sincerely thank the MTN Foundation. Thank you for believing in young musicians and investing in our future.
Beyond investment in classical music, MTN Foundation has provided scholarships to thousands of young Nigerians, helping to create an emerging platform for the youths to thrive in their respective fields of interest.
MTN Muson School of Music program is fully funded by the MTN Foundation. From tuition to your books to your stipends, it's taken care of by MTN through the foundation. And so that's why for us, our belief in the Nigerian youth is very strong, and we'll continue to support them, whether through the formal education, music education, upskilling them.
The ceremony also features presentation of diplomas as well as awards and special prizes to outstanding graduates. As the class of 2026 bows out of the program, MTN Foundation says it remains committed to creating a pathway for young talents and investing in Nigeria's national development.
Lovely there. Well, that's it from the nation's capital. It's over now to Will Ibong in Lagos for business news.
Thank you, Gloria. And the federal government says it is planning to expand its special agro-industrial processing zones program to the remaining 27 states of Nigeria as part of efforts to boost agricultural production and strengthen food security. Speaking at a lecture organized by the Nigerian Institution of Agricultural Engineers, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, notes that the initiative will accelerate mechanization and add value across the agricultural value chain.
Now we have 8 states in the first phase, including FCT, and then we have already received 27 expression of interest, 27 from 27 states that will go on the second phase. But second phase first trying to have 10 states, and we're going to launch them very soon. What that seeks to do is to put together in peri-urban areas, not in the urban areas, in peri-urban areas, where there will be production, there will be aggregation, there will be storage and processing. As we are well aware today, our agricultural produce are sold in its raw form. Some of them even exported in its raw form. What we want to do is add value. Mr. President had told us to add value to whatever we do so that the additional income will also go to the smallholder farmer in the rural areas. So that zone is going to be provided by road network infrastructure, generally water supply, power supply, so as to capture all the agents of the value chain of agricultural production from production to market.
Now, Nigeria's stock market has become the world's best performing equity market in dollar terms this year, overtaking South Korea's Kospi Index, according to Bloomberg data covering 92 global stock markets. The rally reflects renewed investor confidence in Nigeria's economic reforms and improving market conditions. Bloomberg data shows Nigerian equities have returned about 64% in dollar terms since the start of the year. The strong performance comes alongside gains in Nigeria's bonds and currency markets. This ranking also comes a day after S&P Dow Jones placed Nigeria on the 2027 Frontier Markets watch list. Now, following this global ranking, the domestic stock market extended bullish performance for a fourth day. Let's hear it from Ini.
Well, Will, I must say congratulations are in place today because the NGX, Nigeria stock market, is now the top dollar returns of all the markets, overtaking Kospi of South Korea. So if you're an investor at the NGX, congratulations. This is your time to make money. And that's even happened again today because the market gained today almost ₦1 trillion, 962 billion naira. The All Show obviously captures that more than 0.5% in the green at 243,958.73. And we also saw that in the volume. Volume today rose about 1.6 billion. Value also captured 111 billion is what that's brought. So we see the market cap looking glorious there at over 156.5 trillion naira. And the most attractive today, MTN Nigeria. Now, about 3 trading sessions ago, MTN Nigeria was at about 760 or 780 naira. Today, it's 710 naira. So there you go. That's where part of the money is. And then we look at the sectors and see more of that. Banking did well as well as consumer goods. Just a little bit of a blip right there for oil and gas. But that has not changed the sound, the victory sound of the bull.
Thank you, Ini. Let's see how other major stock markets perform today. And that's business news. And Will Ibong is back to Ayo for more on the news at 10.
Many thanks, Will. Iran says it has launched new strikes targeting American bases in Qatar, Kuwait and Bahrain, with Jordan reporting it shut down 8 missiles as well. This escalation follows accusations from Iranian state media that the United States struck near a nuclear power plant. Here's Simon Pusey from our London studio with more international news and around the world in 5.
Good evening and welcome to the Channel studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. The US and Iran have traded strikes for a second night as observers report a dramatic drop in the number of ships traveling through the Strait of Hormuz since hostilities resumed. The US military says it struck some 90 military targets, some near the strait. Iranian authorities say 14 people have been killed in the past 2 days. Iran reported explosions in several coastal areas and said it targeted US assets in Kuwait, Bahrain and Qatar in response. Iran's foreign ministry denounced the US strikes as a gross war crime, saying it was targeting civilian infrastructure, including railway bridges.
So this does seem like a more precarious moment than we've seen certainly since the 17th of June when that memorandum of understanding was signed. And it does feel that this could be a bit of a turning point in terms of both sides realising that we're probably not headed towards a more substantive peace agreement, as was sort of Trump's best case option, but that we're actually likely to see more of a precarious ceasefire where we are going to see these sort of tit for tats continue to take place.
Meanwhile, the former Iranian Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei is set to be buried after 6 days of funeral events, with huge crowds gathering in Mashhad for the ceremony. A plane carrying his body arrived earlier in Iran's holiest city. Khamenei's coffin has been displayed around Iran and Iraq for 6 days and will be buried in Mashhad, where the former Supreme Leader was born. US President Donald Trump has offered to give Ukraine the right to produce Patriot interceptor missiles, which could help Kyiv defend against Russia's ballistic missile attacks. Patriots detect and intercept missiles and are regarded as one of the world's best air defense systems and the most expensive. A single battery with missiles is worth around $1 billion. It also has lengthy production times, with only 600 missiles produced per year, according to the US Defense Department.
But one of the things I think we're going to be talking about today, a little birdie told me this, about the fact that we'll give them the right to make Patriots. We'll show them how to do it. It's very complex, actually, but it's you'll figure out the complexity quickly.
The Office of the Prosecutor's investigations as much as possible.
The International Criminal Court says it has concrete evidence linking leaders of the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces to recent war crimes in the Sudanese region of Darfur. Nazat Shamim Khan said the ICC had reached a breakthrough in its investigation into the massacres of civilians in the cities of El Fasher and El Geneina. The siege and takeover of El Fasher marked one of the bloodiest episodes in the ongoing war between the RSF and Sudan's army. More than 6,000 people were killed in El Fasher as the RSF seized the city in October last year, while the paramilitary group is accused of carrying out a similar massacre in El Geneina. Justin Bieber has joined the star-studded list of halftime performers who will close out the 2026 World Cup in New York. The Canadian pop star will perform alongside Madonna, Shakira and K-pop ensemble BTS during the tournament's first ever Super Bowl-style halftime show on the 19th of July. The FIFA halftime show has been curated by Coldplay's Chris Martin and will raise money for the FIFA Global Citizen Education Fund, an initiative working to raise $100 million for children worldwide. Scientists are the first to capture video footage of Quest, Ernest Shackleton's final ship. The Royal Canadian Geographical Society undertook an expedition in Labrador Sea off the coast of Newfoundland to survey the shipwreck, where Ernest Shackleton ultimately died in 1922. Quest was the last ship built by Shackleton, a leading figure of the heroic age of Antarctic exploration in the early 1900s, before the introduction of modern mechanical transportation. And the Welsh singer Bonnie Tyler, known for a series of hits in the 70s and 80s, including Total Eclipse of the Heart, has died. A statement on her website said she died unexpectedly last night as a result of the illness that she was being treated for. Total Eclipse of the Heart was her biggest hit, the song passing 1 billion streams on Spotify earlier this year. Born Gaynor Hopkins in South Wales, she represented the UK in the Eurovision Song Contest in 2013 and was made an MBE for her services to music in 2023. Even at the age of 74, she had gigs lined up across the UK. She died just a year later at the age of 75 in a hospital in Portugal.
And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel studios in Lagos.
Thank you, Simon. Welcome to Sports News. Linda Noskova brushed aside Marta Kostyuk in straight set earlier today to set up an all-checks Wimbledon final against Karolina Muchova. The 21-year-old night seed eased to a 6-4, 6-4 victory to reach her maiden Grand Slam final as Kostyuk fell in the semis for a second straight major tournament.
Yeah, power and control.
Earlier checks, 10th seed Karolina Muchova saved a match point to reach her first Wimbledon final with a pulsating 3-set win against Coco Gauff earlier today. Muchova held a nerve in a gripping final set tie, winning 6-2, 1-7-6 in 2 hours and 35 minutes in searing temperatures on center court. While France seems to be heading to their third successive FIFA World Cup semi-final following a 2-0 lead over Africa's last team standing, Morocco at the Boston Stadium. Kylian Mbappe got the opener in the 60th minute for his 8th goal at the tournament and his 20th World Cup goal in total. Ousmane Dembele made it 6 minutes later. The French side would likely meet the winner between Spain and Belgium in the semi-final. And Belgian goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois is rallying his team to view themselves as underdogs capable of pulling off an upset against tournament favourite Spain in their 2026 FIFA World Cup quarterfinals in Los Angeles on Friday. Courtois, who plays his club football for Real Madrid, says that everything is possible despite acknowledging Spain as the toughest challenge they faced in the tournament so far. That sports is back to you, Ayo.
And the main news again. The Senate today approved 403.1 billion naira for the Nigeria Police Trust Fund budgets for 2025 and 2026 to help strengthen policing and combat terrorism, kidnapping, and nationwide insecurity. West African financial watchdog JABA raised an alarm over rising money laundering, terrorist financing, cybercrime, and illicit financial flows, urging stronger regional action across ECOWAS member states to respond. And that's the news at 10 tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ayo Tunde Balogun from everyone here. Do have a good night.
Glad you could join us again today on Entertainment News on Channels Television. Hello and welcome. My name is Abidemi Dai.